Hi everyone, Dr. Karen here. Yeah, I've got the headset on because my husband James is doing P90X2 in the background. So unless you want to hear Tony Horton yell at you, I'll keep my headset on. Anyway, today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what's going on. So this is the Spiritual Medicine Digest, the weekly digest. And what's very interesting of the late trend is that we're doing a lot of releasing, kind of emotional, spiritual detoxing. So a lot of people are releasing toxins from old infections that are completely cured. I may have mentioned that last week. And so we're still finding that. And what's really interesting is a lot of misalignments, a lot of bony misalignments, xiphoid, sternum, manubrium, in the heart area. It's really interesting. The thoracic area, and sometimes skull misalignments as well, and linked to trapped emotions, hidden trapped emotions of the past. So that's been going on. So if you are an emotion code or body code healer or you receive it, don't be surprised if we find a lot of trapped emotions that come out of finding different misalignments. Now, I wrote some notes here. So let's see, we've got some toxins from infections. The trapped emotion of the week, I think, is still in column A, box number 4. So that is anger, bitterness, resentment, hatred, guilt. And the past week it's been bitterness. So bitterness is releasing. I believe this is a global trend. So a lot of inherited bitterness is releasing. Still a lot of guilt, but guilt and bitterness are the two emotions we're seeing most often. And as far as the spiritual energies, things that might be blocking us. I had an interview with Crystal Ann Compton, which will air on next Monday, I believe, about Ascension and the Ascension symptoms that you might be having. Maybe it's insomnia or fatigue, or in my case, weight gain around the belly, anxiety, feeling chaotic, whatever it is. Definitely you want to listen to that radio show that's coming up. What we found is that with each level of ascension, there is an equal resistance to that level. So we have to heal the resistance of that level, and then we can move up further. So I kept thinking, oh, eventually none of this entity stuff is going to really be bothersome. But what I do find is that they're becoming more and more subtle. So I was working with a friend not too long ago, and suddenly my computers just went out of whack, and her equipment was totally out of whack too. Her phone was dead, all sorts of problems happening, and so that was kind of a retaliation that I found out of me working with her, because the powers that don't want her to do her heavenly angelic duty don't want me helping her. So we did find a lot of these things. A lot of things are clearing, like curses, old contracts that are no longer valid, negative vows that are no longer valid, so negative beliefs or non-supportive beliefs are getting healed as well. So this is all the stuff that we're working on in the last couple of weeks. So very, very powerful stuff. And for me personally, I have found what's called a leading energy. I learned this from Diana Cushionbach, and this is a negative entity-driven energy that's trying to stray me aside and distract me. And it's very subtle, so it doesn't affect me very much, but it usually comes from, family members and things like that. So I've been clearing some of these, and just every morning when I do my self-healing, I'll just ask, is there a leading energy or hidden leading energy? And if I get a yes, then we just clear it. And the interesting I'm experimenting with this week is asking the question, how much of the entity and entity interference, hidden or otherwise, in all dimensions and directions of time have been cleared in my soul's life so far, and getting a percentage of that, and got it up to 99.5 or something like that. There were still some entity issues going on, not massively, but the percentage dropped down to 89%. And what's really interesting is the interfering entities were actually from the future. From the future, not from past lives, not from the current life, from the future. So again, that's what I'm working on this week, is discovering, hey, these leading energies, a lot of them extraterrestrial, coming from the future, and how do we neutralize that? So stay tuned, and I'll let you know next week how we do. All right, have a great week, and feel free to comment below. Bye for now.